Alright guys, so we are making breakfast, which it's a little late, but that's what it is. We're having this sausage and eggs, and then he has the hash browns going on in the skillet, and I'm going to do this. And then I just thought I'd show you guys this thing that I got to review yesterday. And, yeah, it's like one of my most favorite things lately. It's cast iron, and it's got the coating on it, and it's a saucepan, and it's really heavy and really nice. So I was excited about that.
Let's see how much it weighs. Put the lid back on it.
Okay, it's pretty heavy.
I bet it's like at least 9 pounds.
Oh my gosh. See, I'm a weakling, so it's like hard for me.
Almost 8 pounds.
Yeah, it's heavy. So, yeah, it was like one of my most favoriteest things that I've gotten recently. Not of all time, but recently. It's really nice. I hope that maybe they'll send me like more to the set. And they also had a Dutch oven. So I'm hoping that if I do a really good job on this, they'll send us the Dutch oven too. There's Augie. So he's mad. He wants
to call TT.
Oh, he's wanting to call our aunt TT. So anyways, that's what we're doing. I think they may go to the park later. I don't know if I'm going to go or not.
You will.
I have a really bad headache, but I probably will be wrangled.
Promise that you will. It's by your word.
I did not promise.
You just now did. Just
now,
I didn't. By your
I'm
word.
pretty sure I did not promise.
You're going, and that's the end of the story.
We'll see. Anyway. Alright, so eggs, sausage, and hash browns. I'm cutting this up and getting ready to cook it. So that's what we're doing today. Bye. Alright, guys. So here is our breakfast.
Hi, YouTubers.
So, we're eating. We've already made a huge mess. So.
No, yeah. Not right now. But
no, not right now.
Maybe Augie.
So we'll make a bigger mess?
Well, I'm not.
Like, we have carpet in our dining room, and we literally have to vacuum pretty much every time we eat. It's ridiculous.
Right
but
now, I'm
speaking of which, another thing that I want to get done today is this stuff. You might have seen it in that other video. I did have our dining room completely cleared out, but we switched shelving. And we had to bring other shelving over from the block plant. And, so this is still, like, just sitting here. This is all, like, some of it's review stuff, but, like, our rice cooker, our, dehydrator.
Fruit Ninja guy.
Yeah. All of our stuff, review stuff down there. So this all needs to be, like, reshelved and everything. And that's a goal for this week.
Guy. Also, really, my Fruit Ninja guy.
Yeah. So, anyway, this is our breakfast and our mess. And, yeah. So we'll see you later.
I'm a ninja.
I think you need more speed.
He just wants to swing, but I don't really...
Lennon, come back down.
Write it down. want to go swing, but there's a ton of people here. Because it's spring break where we are. We will in a minute. We brought a scooter, but apparently he's not wanting to ride right now. He's mad. Come back!
He's going pretty fast, dude. Look where, Leela, look where Lennon is.
Like he's still just, and he hasn't pedaled at all.
There he goes. I think Lennon might have got a little too carried away. A long ways though. Come back now!
No, it's not high enough.
Hello. I'm videotaping now.
Stop it now.
Watch it. Stop him. Stop him.
This is only one. Only one.
Anyway. Great, so... Okay, so what do you do after a long, hard play at the park? Get ice cream, of course. So we stopped at McDonald's and got them all cones. We all have ice cream cones, and they are delicious. Now we're going to the grocery store.
I wouldn't say delicious.
They're pretty good.
They're alright for like $1.
Yeah, they were $1, so anyway, we had fun. And now we're at the grocery store. Here for butter and peppers.
Okay, so for dinner tonight, I'm just going to make meatloaf. I make it a little different maybe than some people. I found a recipe online one time, and it was pretty much the best meatloaf I ever had, so that's how I make it from then on. I've got a bunch of this hamburger and stuff thawed out here, so I need to go ahead and use it because it's been in the fridge like 2 days. But
it's about to go bad.
Well, I don't think
it's not yet, but it's close.
Okay, so this is actually 2 pounds of that deer meat. And this is the last bag of it.
Have we made meatloaf with deer meat yet?
Yes, and it was nasty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the deer meat, with the deer hamburger, the last time I made meatloaf with it, it was nasty. So this time, I'm going to mix in a bunch of regular hamburger with it. Now this is going to be a big meatloaf. This is going to be like 4.5 pound meatloaf, so it's going to be at least 2 meals. So it'll probably be dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow.
Meatloaf sandwiches or something.
Yeah.
Would be good. This is definitely the best meatloaf recipe. I mean, I've been making meatloaf for years, several different ways. And then when he found this recipe, pretty much like I've just let him take over making the meatloaf because it is better. And I mean, I could make it also.
So here's the regular hamburger.
And he usually makes me mix the hamburger.
Well, here's the regular hamburger, and then there's the deer hamburger. So anyway, we might need a bigger bowl.
That's the biggest bowl we've got, I think.
Well, we might need a bucket then. And then I cut up one whole large onion.
I usually use more onion than him, though. Because
Yeah,
I
but
usually
this is
use a
quite a
whole
bit.
onion for like a small meatloaf, but...
I don't know, this one was pretty big.
Yeah. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients out now. We're just going to use 4 eggs for this one. He's putting in a green pepper, but you can put in whatever color pepper you have, really. Like, I've used all kinds. And then we're using these plain breadcrumbs, but you can use actual toast. You did it like that a little bit, right? Where
It's actually better if you do it that way. You take, for a 2.5 or 3 pound meatloaf, you would take 5 slices of bread, toast them up to where they're pretty crunchy, and then just crumble them up into it.
Yeah. But for now, we're just using these Progresso breadcrumbs we got at the Dollar Tree. So, also, another thing that's a little bit different than most recipes that you've probably seen is this mild cheddar cheese. We're going to use that. And then we use brown sugar, mustard, and ketchup. But instead of putting it inside of the meatloaf, which is how I was always raised to make it by my grandma, we just put a topping on the top. And I do put a little bit extra afterward because I'm one of those people that really likes condiments, but you don't put it inside. So...
And you don't use any seasonings or anything. I don't even put salt and pepper in there.
Yeah.
You just don't put any seasonings at all. There's no meatloaf packets or like...
Yeah, because when he and I first got together, he made everything with a packet. Like spaghetti, meatloaf, like
Hi,
everything.
YouTubers.
Hi. You say hi, Augie? Well, anyways, so I didn't do that. I didn't make anything with a packet, and I really liked my meatloaf.
It's too sweet.
It was a little sweet. And
It tastes like a dessert instead of a...
I admit that I like this one better, but I do like my meatloaf as well, so...
To me, it was just too sweet. It tasted like more of a dessert than a dinner thing.
Because I use a lot of, the brown sugar type
sugar.
topping. And some people like it that way because I got kind of the recipe from a restaurant. And my dad really likes it that way, too. Like, my dad
Yeah, but your dad loves cakes and sweets and things like that. I like my food pretty much like bland and flavorless, just with a lot of pepper.
Yeah. Well, this is not bland and
Anyway,
flavorless,
here's a very large whole pepper.
Can't wait till we have peppers of our own.
It won't be long.
And these, as you can see, one is a store egg, one is our egg, and 2 of the other ones, the smaller ones, are from my grandma's chickens. They lay smaller eggs than ours do. So, we have a little bit of a variety going on there.
It don't matter. The egg is just to make it sticky.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter at all, but...
I've even left the eggs completely out of it before.
Which is not... It does make it moist, a little bit moist, too. And I don't like it without the egg. I think the egg really...
Well, I prefer it with the egg in it, obviously. But, I mean, in a pinch, I've just thrown it together. Okay. Cheese.
It's over there.
I don't really use measurements on this. I've just made it so many times now. I just do it.
A lot of our cooking is just, we cook with what we have. So, you can adapt recipes and...
We pretty much make the same 10 things over and over again.
I think soon we're going to be trying some different ones, but... we'll have more veggies and things. Try some more veggie recipes, but...
Now, this is a large meatloaf, so it's going to take...
We each have things that we make better, and so that's usually the person in charge of the meal, and since he does a better meatloaf, he's making this, and honestly, he said to someone in a comment the other day that he's been doing the majority of the cooking, and that's true. That's not him just being like, whatever. Like, I have a lot of health issues. I'm diabetic, as I've said in other videos, and I have a couple of other things, and then I found out that I may have something else that I'm going to go get tested for. It's something that my dad has. I can't remember how to say it. It's a blood disorder.
I don't know. It's some...
But it makes you feel terrible.
It's like one of those things where people think they're sick, but they're really not.
I'm going to hit you. That's what my mom said.
Psychosomatic.
That's what my mom told my dad. No, I can't. I'll tell you guys the name later. It starts with an H, but it's something like where you have too much iron in your blood, and it makes you really, tired.
You sucked on too many rusty nails
basically.
as a kid.
And then once the treatment is you have to go have your blood drawn every week. Like have
That's kind of like dialysis.
like you have to have a bunch of blood taken out because you have too much iron in there. And so I have all of the symptoms because the symptoms are that, you know, you're diabetic, you have elevated liver enzymes or a fatty liver. I have
Your
that.
ideas are really stupid all the time.
That also. But anyways, I have all of the symptoms, and it you know, if I don't want to have it, but if I do, it, you know, I'll know what to do now.
All right. Let me have the camera and you start squishing that around.
That's my part. But maybe I'll feel better, like, cause
squish it.
That's what I told Tim the other day, is that I really enjoy cooking and baking, but for like the last 6 months, I haven't.
I say put your money where your mouth is.
I haven't felt like it. I've been tired and just. And I mean,
I've been pretty tired here lately. I don't feel like doing nothing.
Shut up.
I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Shut up. It's beyond the normal tired.
Ooh, squishy egg.
This is probably gonna end up on some like fetish video or something like it.
Ew. Well, we'll come back when this is done.
Yeah. Are you helping, Bob?
Wet.
Is it wet? Mix it up.
No, don't eat it.
He's just smelling it.
Can I eat?
Mix it up.
You can only eat it after we cook it.
He said, mmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be yummy, huh? Alright.
Okay, so I use one of these broiler type pans or whatever it is for meatloaf. It has the slots in it, so all the grease and everything just runs into the bottom pan.
It's really actually pretty revolutionary in making meatloaf.
Yeah, it's really the best way to make meatloaf.
It's also,
if you make it in a regular meatloaf pan, as you know, it'll fill up with the grease and all that crap.
It's like swimming in grease. It's also best for making bacon, too. I've started making bacon pretty much exclusively on this pan. I just line the bacon up with grease and put it in the oven. And it tastes better. The bacon is like better quality. It doesn't completely cook down. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a lot better.
And it doesn't really get like stuck in the cracks really at all or anything when you push it down. Because like I have to, you know, kind of push it down.
Or it would never cook.
Yeah, it would never cook. Which it's going to take close to
2 hours.
Yeah, close to 2 hours to cook this size of one anyway, but...
Bubby.
What?
We only have 11 minutes worth of battery left.
Spread that out over there. Make sure we have our holes at least partially open here.
Okay, guys, we're going to come back when we put the topping on.
Okay, so I'm going to make a super secret meatloaf topping sauce here. So, you just take and you do... I don't know the measurements, so don't ask.
You kind of go just by the look of the sauce, sort of, like the color.
You do a whole lot of ketchup. Yeah, that's the measurement. Whole lot of ketchup.
Put that up, baby.
And then you do a small amount of mustard. Like, about like that.
Maybe a little more, but that's...
No, about like that.
And then, my favorite part.
And then some brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
About that much. And then you just mix it all up and try to make sure all that brown sugar gets ground in and everything.
If it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal because it'll just melt, but...
Yeah, it's not that big a deal, but...
It's better to try to.
What I do is I just get all them clumps and smash them with a spoon up against the side of the bowl. And it kind of like powderizes them like a mortar and pestle or whatever.
Which I wish I had.
Yeah.
If you can hear me crunching, I'm eating these salted corn things, so sorry. That's what I'm doing.
Alright, so there's the topping sauce. And it goes on before it's cooked. And it doesn't burn or anything. It actually stays in liquid form all the way through bacon.
And it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't even know if that's enough.
I'm thinking it's going to have to be because I think we're out of ketchup, but...
I've got more under the counter, I think, but if you don't want to make more, it'll probably be okay.
It could use a little more, but it's going to be enough.
We just usually, like we said, don't make one this big, so.
Yeah. But, like, that's... I needed to use all that deer meat that... And the last time I tried to make meatloaf with deer meat, it was nasty.
So we're hoping this is good.
Yeah, so... That deer meat was already diluted. It was 3 parts deer meat, 1 part hamburger. A high-fat content hamburger.
And now you saw what we did.
And then now it's half and half again with a high-fat content hamburger and deer meat. So
this looks so good.
And that's it. You just stick that in a 350-degree oven. Usually with a 2.5 or 3 pound meatloaf, you can get it down to about 1 inch thick on here, so it only takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes. But I'm going to put this one in for 1 hour and 40 minutes and then check it. Because it's about 1.5 inches thick, so that's it. That's the best meatloaf I know how to make, and it's the best I've tasted, so there it is. Okay, so this meatloaf has been in here about 1 hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours. You can hear that grease in there sizzling and stuff, but there's no grease on the meatloaf. It's all down in the bottom of the pan, so but I guess I'll take it out and cut it open and see if the inside's done.
Hey guys, so while Tim's getting that meatloaf cut up, I thought I'd show you guys this. I know that some of you were interested before when we were showing our curriculum. There's meatloaf.
Yeah, it's done.
We're using the Rod and Staff curriculum with my daughter, and we ordered it from the website that sells it last time, and now we don't need all of the books. We just needed a spelling and an arithmetic book, so I just went on Amazon, and I ordered them from Amazon, and it came from like a Goodwill in Florida, which is funny because I found one of our other Rod and Staff books in a Goodwill in Florida when we were on vacation there like 2 years ago, but anyway. So this is the Arithmetic 5, which I actually think is more advanced than what they teach in 5th grade in public school. So, because I know what the curriculum they had this year, so I think it's a little more advanced, but this we only paid $8 for. I mean, it does have some little like cosmetic stuff on the outside, but really it's a good book. So I'm excited to get started on this. We're going to try to do this between now and over the summer, and then start her in 6th grade math when school starts. So it's just pretty basic. Again, it shows like an Amish classroom, because I think Tim said that a lot of Amish communities or families use this. Wasn't that right?
They used to.
They used to. They don't anymore.
They don't. Most of them do not anymore. Within the last 5 years they've changed, but up until about 5 years ago, most Amish communities used were Rod and Staff.
Was there a reason why they don't anymore?
I think it was just that they finally developed their own.
Okay, so this is just reviewing edition. That's fairly simple, but they always start out with that, like, simple stuff. There's not a lot of, there's no colored photos. It's all like drawings, but I like it because it's really, I don't know what the word is, but like
much to the point.
It's to the point, and I like the illustrations that they do give, because there's like bees in a hive, and even a lot of her spelling words are like homesteady, like geared words, if that makes any sense, like real life practical things.
It's basically modeled after a farming community.
Yeah, that's kind of basically what I'm trying to say. Like, I really like it. It's really simple, and it's real life kind of stuff. So I still, it's a Christian-based curriculum, and while, that's not really what we were like purchasing it for, we like it for the simplicity. It's really good. It's to the point, and I think she gets a lot out of it. So I just thought I would share that with you guys. So there's that. Our spelling book should come in a few days, and I might share that with you as well.
Alright, so this is what dinner ended up being. There's the meatloaf.
Ow!
It's hot, bub.
I got myself some water.
And then some corn on the cob and mashed potatoes with sour cream in it, so. I guess I'll go ahead and end the vlog here. I got to go out and bring the plants in after dinner, but I guess after that I'll go ahead and edit this up and put it up. So I guess that'll do it for now. See you tomorrow.